Okay, so we're going to go ahead and jump into the same idea, interpreting the slope and y-intercept in context, but now we're looking at a graph. Okay, and this is going to start, now the two questions we really want to get to are these two down here, but it really starts with us being able to find the slope and the y-intercept of a graph. So go ahead and pause this video for a second and see if you can find the slope and the y-intercept of this graph, because that's super important first. Okay, we're gonna go over that. So like if you skip through that, that's okay, but please just know you need to be able to find these two things. You will never be able to answer this question on a test if you can't find those two things. So let's start with the slope. Now we just need to think a few things. This is a little bit of a review. Actually, it's a lot of bit of a review. So we know that the slope is our change, okay? And more importantly, it's the change in y over change in x. So these are all just things that you need to think each time you see all this. You see slope, you need to think change in y over change in x. Okay, well, how do you do that? Well, first you need to find 2 points, right? Find 2 points. And then you're going to find the change in y and then the change in x. Remember, you always read left to right. I'll just write it all like this. So these are all the things you need to think about every time you see slope and thinking about a graph. So let's find 2 points. What we're looking for is points that cross exactly, right? So if I'm going down here, I see a point right here. Perfect. That's 1. And if I keep going down, let's see where the next one is. Oh, there's one right here. Perfect. So you just need 2. Okay, so now we're going to read left to right. So we read from this point to this point. And first we're going to think about our change in y. Okay, so our m is going to equal, I'm going to write this again just so we can be real clear, change in y over change in x. Okay, well the change in y is how far up or down, right? Our y is up and down. So how far down did we go? It is not 1. A lot of people are going to see this and think, oh, it went down 1. But it didn't go down 1. You got to look over here and see how far out down we go. Well, from here, we're going at 60 down to 50. 60 to 50 is actually down 10. And it's going down 10, so it's negative 10. It went down, so it's negative. You take 60 minus 10 is 50, right? So negative 10. Okay, then we find our change in x. That's our left and right. Now, this one's always going to be positive because you're going left to right, and it always goes negative to positive. So how far are we going? It's not 3. It's not 3 because you got to look down here. We're going from 6 to 12. How many do you need to add from 6 to get to 12? Good job. That is actually 6. So it's negative 10 over 6. So m will equal, actually, here you wrote that. We can say our change in y was negative 10 over 6. You can simplify this fraction. Go ahead and see if you can simplify this fraction. Good job. So both of those are divisible by 2. So really this is negative 5 over 3. Negative 5 over 3. Now, I would have taken this. That's okay if you didn't quite get to this last part. But that's really the slope. So we know what the slope is. So now we got to go ahead and think, what is the y-intercept? So let's dive into that real quick. Well, the y-intercept very simply is, the y-intercept is the start. And in a graph, we're thinking it's where it crosses the, sorry, there are S's, crosses the y-axis. Okay, so let's look for the y-axis. That's right here. Where does this cross the y-axis? Well, it crosses right here. Well, what's our y value there? 70. So our b equals 70. Okay, now that we got that, we're going to take the go ahead and do this for the sample problem. Then we're going to dive into the actual 2 questions that we need to answer off of this.